This is a demonstration of heat embossing. There are two kinds of heat embossing that I'm going to demonstrate today. For the first one, we will be using an embossing tool. This is the embossing tool by Marvy Ushida. You'll need an embossing tool for both of these that I'm going to demonstrate. For this one, well, of course, a stamp. This is an ordinary rubber stamp. You need embossing powder. This is Pirate Gold, one of my favorites by Stampin' Stuff. This is Versamark watermark stamp, and it's just a very versatile product that I couldn't live without. Now, optionally, one of these trays is very handy for dealing with the embossing powder, but it's optional. You don't really need it. And of course you need something to stamp on. I'm using just ordinary white cardstock. And when you rubber stamp, you need a soft surface, so I've placed a magazine here, and I'll just put this paper on top. This is what I'm going to stamp with. So to use the Versamark, you very simply, it's colorless, this particular one. It's just sticky. So you stamp it on the back, then stamp it as you would stamp any stamp. Okay. Now you can't see that, but Dream is there. And we're now going to use our embossing powder, Pirate's Gold. So you do that. Now, if you can see, that is gold, but it's not stuck. So this is where your heating gun comes in. Okay, that has now turned into a gold, opaque gold. It's very attractive, and if you wanted, depending on your stamp, you could now color inside any of these openings, which you might not want to do on the word Dream, but depending on your stamp, it would be quite easy to color it. Now I'll show you how this tray works. At this end there is a little plug, so you simply remove the plug and return your powder to the bottle. It's a very handy little tool, especially if you're working with micro beads or anything like that. For the second demonstration, it's very similar, but in this case we'll be using a pigment ink. This is Colorbox Royal Blue. Now, it has to be a pigment ink. Dye inks won't work, chalk inks won't work. I don't think alcohol inks will work. You have to have a pigment ink. And in this case, you also use stamping powder, but you use clear. So this again is Stampin' Stuff, and it's a clear, transparent. And we'll use the same stamp, Dream. So again, you stamp on the back, make sure it's colored. This is slow drying, so you don't have to rush to put the lid on. Stamp it as before. Okay. Now, I'm going to not use the tray. I'm going to show you how to do this using just a piece of paper. So as before, you sprinkle it. Sometimes you have to blow off the excess. Then, using the heating tool again, and you now have a very attractive embossed Dream in blue. And again, if you wished, you could color the insides. Now, to return this to the bottle, using the scrap paper, just do that. And it's almost easier than using the tray. So there you have 2 stamping demonstrations.